Hey everyone, welcome back to Tame Your Space. I'm your host, Sandy Talbot, and in this episode we're going to talk about kids' toys and how we deal with the many toys that we seem to accumulate while having children and grandchildren. So I haven't had toys in my home for over 20 years. I became a grandparent in 2020 and I have introduced toys back into my home with the birth of my grandson Nico. And I also have a granddaughter, Indiana, or Indy, who was born this year in March. I did the second-hand route because I knew that the kids would grow out of things really quickly, and it was cheaper for me to buy second-hand because there are some really good bargains around. Like that toy box there was second-hand, but it looks brand new, and I knew that I wanted a toy box because, again, in this new house, I didn't want clutter. So they have one toy box, and that is where the toys go. If you have a lot of toys for your children, I find that containers are great for kids' toys. You know, your cube bookshelves with the containers that you can push in, like the basket things. They're great because they're easier to clean up and they can be put in and it looks neat and tidy. I recommend, if you have room for one of those or two of those for your kids' toys, it would be so much more easier for you and your child, and they learn to clean up after themselves. I know that a lot of parents have their toys in their kids' rooms, and storage can sometimes be a nightmare for them. Again, I still like the cubey thing because they can take out the cube and play with whatever's in that toy, in that cube. And once they're finished, they can put it back and put it back. Books, a little bookshelf. Books are important. They need to learn to read, and I think reading to your children and your grandchildren, I do that all the time with Nico. And I've just bought Indiana a unicorn book, which she loved on Christmas Day. She loved the wee unicorn book. So getting back to storage for your kids' toys, if you have the space, a cubey thing and some kind of a bookcase is all you really need. Kids only play with one toy at a time, usually. And if you're finding that you have so many toys that you don't know what to do with, or that your child has outgrown some of those toys, sit down with them and ask them to pick out their favorite toys and explain to them that there are children in this world that don't have many things, and if you wanted to give something away from your toys, that you would be making a child really happy. And that's teaching them to start decluttering because, like I said, they only play with one toy at a time. You'll know your child's favorite toy, so you know that they're not going to get rid of that toy until they outgrow it. Another way is if you have so many toys and you're sick of picking up 10 million toys, rotate some. So take some out, put them in a storage area, give the kids a month to play with it, and then take them all out and swap and rotate. And they'll think it's Christmas because these toys have been put away for a few months, and then they come back and they'll go, oh, I've got this to play with. I find toy rotation to be quite successful. And then once they grow out of them, like I said, get them to sit down, pick a box, and pick out some toys that they want to keep and explain to them, to donate. Or you could get them to sell their toys. I know here in Kaipoi we had a kids' fair, which was really cool. Kids and mums and dad set up stalls with their toys that they wanted to get rid of and made pocket money for themselves. It's a great idea. I actually bought my my grandson, some tractors that would be, 40, probably $40 here in New Zealand to buy new. I picked them up for like $2. And it doesn't matter that they're worn and torn, they're new for him. And it doesn't matter. It cost me $2. I have got a bit more wiser being a grandparent than I was a parent, because I would just buy, whatever I wanted. Well, not whatever I wanted, but what I wanted to buy for my boys and my daughter. But then things weren't as expensive as they are now. But as a grandparent, I know it's kind of short and sweet. So they get bored with things very quickly. Like I've bought, tractors. I bought a set of dinosaurs because he loves dinosaurs. I've bought books. I've bought radio cars that don't have the remote control, but they can still push them around. I've bought tools because he loves tools. So, and puzzles. Puzzles are good. And I bought the Duplo Lego, which is bigger, because I'm not ready for the small Lego just yet. So yeah, teach them how to declutter their toys. And as they get older, they'll start to declutter, hopefully, their own things. I do have a tip about Lego. Now, I know there are a lot of families out there that love Lego, that have lots of Lego, and I know that it's kind of frustrating to pick up because kids can seem to put it everywhere. I have seen online, I can't remember where I've seen it, but I will put a link below for those families that are struggling with Lego. It's like a big barrel. It's a big mat in a circle, and you put all your Lego in there. The kids play in there. Once they're finished, you just draw a string, and it's all together. It's not everywhere in the lounge or wherever the kids are playing. It's contained in this big circle, and it's quite a big circle. I will link the product down below because I think it's a great idea for Lego families out there. Stuffed toys is another one that we seem to get a lot of. As you've been following me for a while, I had a very big stuffed toy collection that I donated because it was 20 years old and I was doing nothing with it. I had kind of outgrown those toys. I do still have my stuffed unicorns because I love unicorns. So I've kept those, and I'll probably pass those down to Indiana. So get your kids' favourite toys, stuffed toys, and then go, let's donate these. Hospitals for kids with cancer, a little something for them will bring a smile to our children. It's also teaching them a little bit of empathy, which is very rare in this day and age, and I think we need to be more empathetic towards one another. So those are the tips that I would give with you for toys. And, even go the secondhand route for some things. I know that as parents, you like to buy everything new for your child, but as a grandparent, I like to buy secondhand toys for some things. because I know that they will grow out of them, and I don't want to spend a hell of a lot of money. I would rather buy them experiences than a toy, because it's something that they will remember. Like, for example, I take Neko to feed the ducks, just 5 minutes walk from where I live. And I'm hoping that he will, as he gets older, remember that. Just like my granddad used to save up all the bread for when I used to visit, and he would take me to feed the ducks at the Botanical Gardens in Dunedin. And I was only 5 years old, and I still remember that. So that's a really awesome memory to have of your grandparents, and I want that for my children. So thank you for joining me on today's episode. Please subscribe to my channel and leave a review about this episode, because your feedback means the world to me. So until next time, take care, stay safe, and stay clutter-free.